Hi guys, welcome to this very important session, which is a topper talk with one of our previous students, Latha Madhavan. So she has secured a rank of 21 in the previous Lawcet examination. So in this particular session, Latha will help us understand like how exactly did she prepare for the exam, and you can also learn from her mistakes and her learnings. And we'll just start this. Latha, so before beginning, just introduce yourself to the audience in just 1 minute. Let us. Yeah, I think this is correct. You're on mute, Latha, I think.
Yeah, hi Trinath. Good evening, everyone. I am Latha Madhavan. First of all, thank you, Trinath, for giving me this opportunity to share my experience with everybody who is aspiring to become lawyers. Um, I'm actually an engineering graduate. After that, I joined an MNC. While working for the MNC, I did a executive program from IIM Calcutta. Later, I took break from my career. I'm a homemaker for the last 10 years. Then I wanted to start my career. And actually, I'm a first generation lawyer in my family. So I have no clue about how to even appear or for law set or what is the syllabus. Absolutely is from ground zero I started. And why LLB is absolutely out of curiosity to know law. And I think it is one of the professions which has no retirement age, actually. So, and that is where I got to know about Lawcet Adda. And from there, my journey has started for preparing for Lawcet. I started around 3 months, hardly 2.5 months actually, before the actual exam. And trust me, I was like away even with current affairs also. So it's like with every part of the exam, I started from ground zero.
Okay. Okay. So, like, as you're saying that you are from engineering background, so you started completely from zero, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Uh, so you took up law just out of curiosity, like after 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay, somebody is asking the password. Is there any password for this meeting? I think no, right? Like anyone can join. Okay. Uh, so you have started your preparation like 2.5 months before the actual
Yes.
exam. So last time exam was in July. So what was the first step that what was your first step like in your preparation? So what did you actually do? Like the groundwork.
Yes. I think for any preparation, the prerequisite is analyzing what is the syllabus and what type of questions would come. And I think that part was absolutely taken care by Lawcet Adda. Like half of our job was already done. So what is the syllabus? How much you should study in in and as you know, for GK and current affairs, it's everything and anything under the sky. So, but lot, the analysis of how much to study, what topics you should focus on. So that part was already done. That made our job very easy, actually. So, and I did not want to choose multiple sources because I'm starting from zero and with very limited time. I don't want to spend, more time on one topic. I rather chose very few, like my first choice was the notes, the consolidated notes and the recordings that Lawcet Adda provided, and just one another YouTube channel, that too for current affairs. That's it. So I limited my study material and I utilized the time that I have, being a homemaker. It was tough juggling between giving priority to your kids and family and this. So I wanted to, choose wisely the sources and utilized all the time that I had to revise the same thing multiple times. At least 4 to 5 times I went through all the recordings. 4 to 5 times, made my own notes, handwritten notes. though the material was provided, I did not take a, prefer to take a printout. I rather made my notes as per my understanding. Maybe what I don't remember, sometimes like there are few things, no matter how hard you or how many times you revise, you don't tend to remember them, especially those points and important points, like, that you should have a quick revision just before the exam. With that point of view, I made my notes. That really helped me a lot.
That's great. So now actually let us, come into the sectional strategy, let us say. So which section were you looking out like first? What is your first priority? So you must have a priority order, right? Like this much time for one section, this section. What is your sectional priority? What was your first section?
My first sectional priority was legal aptitude. I started with legal aptitude also in the final exam, because here for me, the syllabus was like defined, very well defined by the people conducting the exam. So, and with that also, already, as I said, the Lawcet Adda team had already done the analysis, like in legal aptitude also, like constitution, how much priority should be given, other topics, how much priority should be given. So based on that, I prepared. And next my priority was GK, and then followed by current affairs.
So supplementary question to that. So firstly, you started with legal, right? So generally, what was your
Yes.
strategy for legal? Like what all sources did you rely upon? Which classes did you watch? And how did you prepare notes? Just in
Yeah. So for coming, especially for legal aptitude, as I said, I'm a first generation lawyer. I have absolutely no idea about how will it be. So trust me, I did not even touch the Vijeta series or any other book available. My only source when it came to legal aptitude was the material and the videos that were provided by Lawcet Adda. And my aim was actually scoring high in legal aptitude. I thought that was the area where I had, because it had almost 60 marks, half of the scoring. So I limited my resource only to the material provided by you guys, and I not only the notes, even the recordings. The best part is you have the recordings available all the time. So I went through each and every recording at least 4 or 5 times. So I made, every time I used to write, and first I made it a little elaborated hand notes, but a couple of weeks before the final exam, I cut short it to like cheat notes, hardly 1, 2 papers, for the entire topic, for the entire part. So absolutely, when it came to legal aptitude, it was only Lawcet Adda material, nothing, absolutely nothing else.
okay. So then coming to the next priority, like GK and also mental ability, let us say, mixed section. So what was your
Yes,
strategy for GK and mental ability? How was that?
GK and mental ability, especially for mental ability, I practiced a lot, especially what Bharat Reddy sir has provided. He used to explain, and he also used to give questions also during the classes. So that, and especially the previous year's question papers, I saw last 10 years previous question papers of both AP or TS, 3YDC and 5FDC. So when it comes to mental ability, like practicing, you might know the answer, but being quick is the trick there. So that will save a lot of your time. If you are spending more time on mental ability, you might lose time on your current affairs and other parts that are left out. So practicing helped me a lot in doing things quickly.
So how about GK? Static GK.
Static JK was completely again what Bhanu taught us. And maybe a little other videos relating to the same topic, but I did not deviate from the topic that we were asked to focus on. Maybe a same idea, same thing, but from a different narrative. That's it.
Okay. So GK is done. Okay. So and how about current affairs? What was your strategy for current affairs? How did you? Because that is the current affairs is like they can ask you anything and everything, and there's no proper structure. And so how do you go about that?
Yes, as we were asked, like it was from Lawcet to Lawcet. So I prepared from Lawcet to Lawcet, and here I focused on categories that helped me a lot when it comes to current affairs. It's like I thought it's for 30. It's like I thought I should at least score 20 to get into a decently good or top college. So I studied it category wise. For example, sports, awards, important dates, schemes, national level, state level schemes. So, and especially budget. So I went through the budget separately. So I divided into category wise, and everything at national, state, and international level, whatever comes under that category, I studied. So that helped me in better understanding the topic.
Okay. So this was your thing, right? Okay. Then I have another question. So with respect to the general strategy part, so general strategy I'm talking about. So when you are preparing for the exam, generally how many hours did you study like every single day? Because students ask this question to me like all the time. So how many hours is required to crack the examination? So how many were your hours?
I can't say particularly these many hours because I had to, give time to my kids also. But the most important thing was consistency. There were days I could have, easily the entire day I could dedicate to study. And there were days there were hardly any time. You're completely exhausted by the end of the day. But even then, I ensured that I listened to at least the current affairs video before going to sleep. So I ensured that I'm updating myself, learning myself each and every day. So, and I ensured that even though if I could not make notes or be practically participating in the live classes, I ensured that I at least turn on the audio of the live classes going on, so I know what are the topics covered. I have a fairly good idea of what is being covered, and later when I have time, I used to go back to the recordings, make notes, or practice the problems that were given. So more than how much time is how effectively you use your time that is available to you. Some might be able to give 4-6 hours a day. Some might not be able to give that much. Maybe they can give only 2 hours, 3 hours, but how effectively you are using that time.
Okay, so that's really, really important, right? So rather than the quantity of your time, the quality that you're spending, like how effectively you're studying, that is really, really important. And with respect to time factor, it is of course different for different people, right? If you're starting from a zero, let us say, you have to actually understand like every single subject, and you have to go through it and all of this. For somebody who already knows, like they'll just go through the material here and there,
Yes.
and the exams, etc. That is one question. And other thing is that so other question which students ask. So what are some so what is your score in the examination? How much did you score?
My score was around 85,
85.
20 in GK, 20 in current affairs, and 45 in legal aptitude. Actually, my aim was to score at least above 50 in legal aptitude, but I think year by year the paper is getting tougher, and especially with I was in the evening session, so that was even more tougher. But yes, but nevertheless, 45 in legal aptitude got me into one of the topmost colleges or university, which I'm very happy about.
Very good, very good. So 85 was your score, right? So in 85 you
Yeah.
got a rank of 21. So 21
Yes.
was my rank also. So if you guys don't know, so in 2020, my rank was 21 in the Lawcet examination. But of course, last year I scored 50 in legal aptitude. But yeah, of course, I think there's a difference in 3-year and 5-year paper. Okay. So another thing is that, so when you were preparing for the exam, so as you told that you are a homemaker and you have kids to take care of and also have to take care of your family members. So what were some challenges which were there, like which were hindering your preparation? Sometimes it might be like, taking whatever, like what are some challenges, like 2 or 3 that you have?
The primary challenge was like juggling between, giving priority to kids, we used to have classes in the evening, which was a dinner time for kids, or maybe classes, especially the mental ability classes were 6:30 in the morning. That was the time when I should be preparing the lunch box, make my kids ready. But as I said, I ensured that even though I am busy with my family, I used to log in and at least listen to what is said in the class so that I have the basic fair idea of what is covered that day. And later I used to plan my day accordingly. Like, okay, this is the topic that I am not at all aware of. So I should be giving more time to this topic that is covered today.
Fair enough. Uh, so, and another question that I have, like, for example, like somebody is starting their law set preparation now, like we have our students over here. So what would be your advice to them? Maybe 2 or 3 pointers, like what would you like to suggest them?
Yes, actually, I noted down around 5, 6 points that I followed, and that really helped me because I started from ground zero and hardly and at least 2.5 months before the actual exam. The first thing that I said is choose your sources very wisely. Don't choose. There are multiple sources available on the internet. You will have multiple channels or YouTube channels available, multiple books available. Just choose what do you connect with, what do you understand better. I chose my first priority was Lawcet Adda notes and then only one YouTube channel. I did not want to deviate much, spend more time on one topic. Rather, I wanted to spend limited time on all the topics that were important. So first thing is choose your sources very wisely and utilize that time. At least go through each and every source. Like it may be limited, but go through that at least 4 to 5 times. Revise that 4 to 5 times at least. And consistency. Like, as I said, you can one day you can get all the time to study, happily study, and maybe one day you don't have time at all. But still, at least maybe if you're walking, if you're working, if you're doing your household works, just have at least the video on, just listen to the class recordings or any other YouTube recordings, but be consistent with your learning. That helps a lot. And especially make your notes, handwritten notes, especially because handwritten notes are custom made. What is good for other person might not suit you, might not suit your no, requirements. Maybe that person has better knowledge about something and not that much knowledge about what you know. So he will prepare notes as per his requirement. So, I would definitely advise to make your handwritten notes as per your requirement. And I have literally made notes of everything which I still refer. Okay. And the other thing is I formed group with people, who, especially Madhuri. First, I started, we two were a group. She's also a homemaker. So we were, similar situation from a similar background, aiming to, join or get seat in the university. She is from AP, but we prepared the syllabus and everything was same. So we prepared, we used to exchange our ideas, maybe a topic which she had better understanding. She used to, discuss with me. If I have a better understanding of any topic, I used to tell her. That way, our learnings were very impactful.
Oh.
And she also got into Andhra University.
I think her rank
So
was 35, right? If I am not wrong, 30.
Somewhere in 90s, I think,
9.
Madhuri got.
Okay, in AP Lawcet.
Yes, yes. Thrinath AP Lawcet.
Yeah, okay. We will also bring her like one day thoughts. She'll also share.
Sure.
Uh, uh, yeah, Lata, you were saying that you referred to. I mean, like you also referred to your notes, your handwritten notes were there. So can you just show notes to our students, like in the call, if it is possible? I think there is some problem in your. I think your video is paused. Lata, your video is paused and I can't hear you also. Let me just call it. Oh, let me admit it. Hmm.
Oh, sorry, Thrinath. There was suddenly a power cut and I got locked
Yeah,
off.
no problem, no problem. Yeah, so what I was asking is like, do you have that notebook or notes? If you can just show to my students like on the call.
Sure, I would love to. Just a minute.
Okay, guys. So in the meanwhile, if you guys have any questions, so after this, like I'll allow you to ask questions. So you can keep your questions ready and you can ask your questions. Okay. Yes.
Hi.
Yes, sure.
So these are my notes.
Okay.
As you can see, very small. Like a
I
cheat
I
sheet.
can't actually see anything, but that's okay. We'll share
Like
some.
that. Like cheat sheets I have made. That was the legal aptitude notes that I prepared for myself. The Constitution.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So actually, one question, like, so now I'll be asking some of the questions which students are asking. Like for example, ma'am has actually started preparation 2.5 months. Is that she actually started to watch the recordings also since then? No, it's not like that, Soundarya, because last year we were not having a 6 month batch. So we were having only a 3 month batch like, before the exam. So she was like she joined at that time. So last year it was a different case. I mean, like now we have a long-term batch also, but previously we don't have that. Okay. So if you guys have any questions, you can unmute your mic and you can ask, or even you can write it down in the chat window, and I'll ask the same.
Thrinath, one more important point.
Yeah, please, please.
Actually, two. One was the mock test.
Oh,
I
that's
attended
actually, yeah.
I attended all the mock tests multiple times. Actually,
Okay.
that helped me, like, because I was writing the exam almost after a very long time. So, I was out, very nervous, like, how, and writing mock test, trust me, when I was writing the final exam, I was not at all feeling tensed or pressurized.
Yeah.
Because, I had written mock test, every mock, there are many mock tests and you can attempt each of them multiple times.
Yeah.
So, that really helped me. And especially the tips that were given to us before the exam on how to write, not to deviate. There will be people who will be disturbing you while you are writing. They want some help, just ignore them. Don't even turn your head. All these instructions were given to us. I think these helped us a lot in writing the exam. I was like literally cool and calm while writing the exam because of the mock test and the instructions, small tips that were given to us before the exam.
Okay. Gangadhar kindly ask Latha ma'am to repeat. Gangadhar, what I'll actually do is, as you missed out on this thing, I'll share the recording also. So we will upload it on YouTube. You can like watch it again, because like if she repeats it, because actually this is not Lawcet's Zoom ID. So this is my personal Zoom ID. So it will end in 40 minutes. So that's we don't have that right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
I'll share it. I'll share the video. Don't worry. Okay. So now ma'am is doing her LL.B in regular, which university? So Latha, this question is for you. So you can actually keep it like all so that she can also see your questions, right? So the questions are coming only to me. Okay, anyways.
Okay, I'm doing from Osmania University, pre-YDC.
Yeah, so it is in regular. So law is always a regular course. It is not a distance course. So, okay. Asha is asking like, what was the main source or internet platform? So you were saying that you followed some channel for current affairs. So what was that?
I don't remember the exact channel name, but
Okay.
I chose.
Okay, what I would say is that, so like for example, the thing is that like if you don't, for example, for if you're taking any additional source, like you can stick to one source that is good for you. Like
True.
instead of
Yes.
choosing like 2, 3 channels, 5, 6 websites, 3 or 4 books. So because they will simply waste your time, right? So yeah, that is a, she don't remember the channel name, but I think like if you find out, you just let me know, Latha, so that I'll share it with my like after this call. Okay.
Sure. But especially for current affairs, I chose YouTube channels, not for other things, but that too channels which were giving content category wise, like all sports related updates in one in one episode. Important dates in one episode, like that. I chose which were giving me content category wise.
Good. Yeah, next I'll take up another question. So you asked me how much time did she take for each topic? Like for each topic, like how much time did you take? I mean, like for every section, let us say, like breakdown for every section, and also in the exam also. Like first thing is your preparation time, and second thing is your exam time.
So during the exam, as I said, I started with part C first, because I know that was like from the limited syllabus that will be coming, and especially with part, there were 10 marks for this paragraph. I think that was introduced for the first time last year. So almost half of the time was for it. And then later I did GK and mental ability, because I knew that mental ability needs a little time when compared to current affairs. So, and practicing all the problems, especially last 10 years, question papers, helped me with that quickness. And actually, I almost 10-15 minutes were left after I answered all the 120 questions. I was left with easily 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, so that's the case. So like for anyone and everyone who is preparing properly and going to the exam, so 90 minutes is like, it's like more than sufficient time. So it is like, you'll get decent amount of time. So especially, I have attempted the exam 2 times. So twice, like I was like for the next 45 minutes, I was sitting idle in the exam center or looking here and there, like what is happening. So if you prepare well, I think time management is not at all a problem in this exam, I would say, because There's no negative marking. You can attempt all the questions. So whether you know the answer or not. Okay. Soundarya is asking you some question. Like, can you please repeat the priority section once again? Latha?
Yes, Soundarya. So the first priority was legal aptitude while writing the final exam. Then I gave it to GK and mental ability because solving the problems would take some time, unlike current affairs where you just have to choose from the options given. So I thought I would do mental ability, GK, and then I came to current affairs.
Oh, yeah. I think that is the same, model that I have suggested in the first session in the
Yes,
strategy. Preparation
yes,
was
right.
also the same priority. Soundarya is asking, like, for preparation also. I mean, was that the
Yes,
same thing? I mean, like
preparation, my
more time for legal and little lesser for
yes,
these sections, right? Because of course, for legal you have 60 marks, so you have to spend some more time. Other sections proportionately you have to. Okay. So, any other questions from anyone? Because I think we are, I don't know how many minutes. But yeah. Any other questions? Please be quick. Okay, I think like most of the questions are done. And yeah, thank you so much, Latha, for taking your time and spending with my
thank,
students. And I think like in the future also, like before the exam, once again, we can connect and discuss about the exam day things like whenever we are there. And also, I'm actually planning a session with like all the rankers of previous year, so that, like everybody is there in one in one call, and like we'll discuss strategies together. So when I'm looking for that as well. So I'm looking forward to meeting you all again. So yeah, bye bye. Thank you,
definitely.
Latha. Bye.
Thank you, Thrinath.
Sorry, one question. Sorry, one question.
Yes.
How much percentage of Lawcet at Lawcet material, and how much was your online material did you use?
Majority was Lawcet material. As I said, only for current affairs category wise. We were given material, but that was month wise. I wanted something category wise. Only for that, I referred to YouTube channels. But when it comes to legal aptitude, it was 100% what Lawcet gave me, and it still helps me. Because the basic concepts were so well covered, that will definitely be a icebreaker when you start the actual course.
So MS is asking like up to which rank can we get into seat? See, MS, like if you are a general male, I think a rank below 25 will help you to get into the university. And yeah, so of course, if you have some reservation, then based on based on your category rank and everything. But assuming generally, for a general male to get into the university, I think it is like 25, below 25. Yeah. Okay, so I think we are done with the questions. So thank you so much for coming. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you,
Bye.
Trinath.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
Bye, guys.